Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning into the North Main Minute. I'm Joshua Dobie. I don't need to tell you, if you watch the stock markets at all, or you're taking a look at business news programs or the business newspaper, that it's been a relatively volatile year when we're talking about stock market and, frankly, bond market performance here in the first quarter and now maybe a little bit more of 2022. So what does that mean relative to how we're looking at things? Should we expect for this to continue? Is this something that we need to do to change our thought process? I'm going to give you a terrible answer. Nobody knows. There's no way that we can predict with any certainty what's ahead of us in the future. However, there are some metrics that we keep in mind here at North Main Financial Group, and definitely there's a changing dynamic as far as where things are in the marketplace right now. Let's talk about market volatility. You don't have to have been invested for too long in the market to know that market volatility, both positive and negative, happens with some regularity. Now, we've been lulled to sleep here a little bit, perhaps, because we haven't had significant market volatility really since the first quarter of 2020, when we had COVID shutdowns and the market reacted in a very significant negative way for a short period of time. So we may have been lulled to sleep a little bit, but these kinds of things happen, again, on a very regular basis when we're looking at stock market history. But one of the things that we're seeing here, coupled with a lot of other variables in the algorithm which are shifting when we're looking at our overall economy, is that sometimes what we call market leadership, or those things which are first and foremost in the marketplace doing well, has definitely changed here over the last year. Let me just give you some broad-based examples just looking at sectors in the market. For the last couple of years, it was big technology, meaning big technology companies did very, very well. Some would say even perhaps a little too well over the last couple of years from a performance standpoint. What we've seen here in the first part of 2022 is a changing dynamic where a lot of those companies that did very, very well over the last couple of years have pulled back significantly, and in some cases dramatically off of those highs. And we've seen other sectors pop up which really have been ignored here over the last couple of years, specifically financials, or the financial sector, and then oil and energy. Both of those sectors, again, have been very largely ignored by the marketplace as those big technology companies dominated so many of our headlines. So what does that mean overall? Well, again, there's no binary kind of answer to that. A lot of variables in the algorithm, but one of the reasons why you probably are seeing that kind of dynamic or market shift taking place is because of what's happening overall in our macro economy, meaning that we have higher inflation and higher interest rates for the first time in about 15 years. When those kinds of things happen with any significance, you tend to see different market leadership or different sectors that tend to do well. I think that's one of the reasons why you're seeing a pop-up in financials or big banks, also a pop-up in oil and energy companies. Those two sectors tend to do well historically when there are places of higher inflation. It's not to say that every oil company and every bank is a good investment. Not saying that at all, not even saying that it's right for you to consider that. But it's important to recognize the dynamic of change, which can and does happen in the marketplace. So what does that mean for you? Well, that's the kind of thing for which you can reach out to us at North Main Financial Group. If you'd like to do that, take a look at your portfolio. What does this new dynamic, this new change in market leadership mean for your overall plan? Is it appropriate to make tweaks? Is it appropriate to stay where you are? We'd love to chat with you, northmainfinancial.com.